Congressman Kevin Brady joins us right now, the Texas congressman of that, ranking minority member on the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman, always good to have you. How do you think your state is proceeding?
Yeah, Neil, it's good to see you, and I hope you're staying healthy and the family staying safe as well. So I think Governor Abbott is reopening the state very deliberately. He's obviously phasing it in and not just keeping maximum pressure on the coronavirus, but actually dramatically increasing testing and that contact tracing where we have 800 professionals who are following those infected patients to determine who they've met with. So I think it's a very thoughtful approach. Look, it's permissive in the sense that businesses don't have to open, but a lot of our retailers, a lot of our outdoor sports venues, those are limited, and others are ready to reopen safely. And Neil, there's two interesting things about this order. One is that he recognizes in rural counties, some of which have 0 to 4 or 5 cases, they are allowed to reopen at 50% capacity today if health conditions permit. And secondly, he puts as much responsibility on the customers as he does the businesses themselves. Those requirements of screening, of personal hygiene, of masks where appropriate by CDC and social distancing apply to the customers as well as to the businesses themselves. So he's clearly keeping a maximum pressure first approach. I think that's the right way.
You know, Congressman, the president has been talking up a payroll tax cut and another new wave of stimulus. I don't know where that stands, but how do you feel about that?
You know, for the most part, I've always been pretty lukewarm about payroll tax holidays as being effective for the economy. But I think that's starting to change for a couple reasons. I think the unemployment benefits created by Congress are so generous that for over half the workers, they get paid more to stay home than to work. I think that is, one, healthy in the long run, but I think will extend this recession. Secondly, I think workers today could use a 7% pay raise. I do think it could help abate inflationary pressures on wages that I worry about. And I do think of all the options that Congress is weighing about more economic support, I would think considering the payroll, a complete payroll tax holiday for the workers is far more efficient than perhaps another round of economic impact statements generally. So, look, I've always been, you know, pretty lukewarm to it, but I think the conditions have changed. It is something I think we need to look at.
How do you feel, Congressman, about aid to the states? Mitch McConnell had said they always had the option of bankruptcy. He softened that somewhat in an interview with me, saying, yeah, I'll consider it if you have liability protection. In other words, help support companies that in hiring back workers and one of them gets sick or contracts the virus, that they're not sued. Nancy Pelosi rejected that out of hand. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I think, one, Congress has committed already over $765 billion to local, state and local communities. It's been a huge commitment. Secondly, unfortunately, some governors are hoarding the dollars we sent to smaller communities, refuse to pass them on. I don't think there'll be any discussion of additional dollars as long as states are ignoring Congress's intent to help our smaller communities. Thirdly, I think Leader McConnell was really focused on the $5 trillion of pension debt that states have run up. Certainly other taxpayers around the country shouldn't be paying for that. But I do think that we should be following, just as we do with small businesses, our hospitals and all, we should be following what's happening on the ground. If there's more needed, let's consider it. But I do agree, we're going to need reasonable liability reforms. That'll help make sure businesses put in those safeguards. And I do think we need changes, definitely need changes in the unemployment insurance. It shouldn't be extended In fact, it should be converted into a return to work type bonus. We need people coming off the sidelines and back in the economy if we're to help them in the long run.
Well, when a lot of them are getting more unemployment than they were in their existing jobs, that's a tough thing to extract them from, right?
It is, but it's unhealthy, certainly in the long term. Work is where you get your health care benefits, your retirement benefits. That's right. Where, frankly, it creates work. And there are lots of positive reasons for getting you back, obviously, into a healthy, safe workplace. But it's pretty crucial for a lot of reasons to get people back off the sideline.
Yeah, that's a good point. The sooner they get back to work, the sooner their health coverage presumably resumes and all of that. We don't think of all the other aspects of that. Congressman, be safe and be healthy yourself. My best to your family, your constituents. Be well.